I still remember the exact moment everything cracked. My phone buzzed on the kitchen counter, and when I picked it up, a single notification made my chest tighten. It was a message from her, my wife of 12 years, but it wasn't meant for me. My heart skipped in disbelief as I read the words. Can't wait for tonight. Just the two of us. Don't tell anyone. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. My mind raced, trying to dismiss it. Maybe it wasn't what I thought. Maybe it was a work-related thing. My stomach twisted, but my rationality, my stubborn need to believe in the woman I loved, screamed for reason. I told myself it was nothing, just a mistake. But the signs had been there. Subtle, almost laughably small. Missed calls that were too frequent to be innocent. Her phone constantly slipping from her grasp. Screens lighting up with notifications she hurriedly silenced. Little excuses that felt rehearsed. Just a friend from work, meeting some about the house. You're overthinking again. I blamed myself at first. Maybe I was paranoid. Maybe 12 years of routine had made me imagine shadows where there were none. Then came the night that changed everything. She said she was out late with a colleague, laughing about a boring office dinner. She claimed dragged on. I pretended to sleep when she left, my ears straining for the faintest noise, my mind spinning with questions I didn't want to ask. Hours passed. The house was silent. Too silent. I went to grab a glass of water in the middle of the night and saw her phone on the counter. Forgotten. The screen was unlocked. My fingers hovered over like I could stop the inevitable, but curiosity and some quiet, desperate need for truth. One, a thread of messages opened, and I froze. I know it's risky, but I needed to see you. Tonight is perfect. You promised. I'll be waiting. Don't tell him. I couldn't breathe. My stomach lurched. Memories of 12 years. The late nights she stayed up to help me with my deadlines. The birthdays she never forgot. The small rituals that had once felt sacred suddenly felt tainted. Every smile, every touch, every whispered promise of forever felt like a lie. I spent that night walking the floor, gripping the edges of my bed, fighting nausea and anger and disbelief all at once. When she came home hours later, she was cheerful, oblivious, or so she acted. I sat at the kitchen table, my hands trembling, trying to form the words. Where were you? My voice came out softer than I wanted. Oh, just dinner with Mark, she said, tossing her bag onto the chair. It ran late, sorry. You were asleep, huh? Her smile was effortless, the kind that had made me fall in love 12 years ago. And yet, I saw it now as a mask. I couldn't speak. I wanted to scream. I wanted to break something. I wanted to disappear. Instead, I watched her, saw the subtle flicker in her eyes as she realized I had seen the messages. It's not what you think, she whispered, almost pleading. I didn't mean for you to find out this way. But her words sounded hollow. Hollow because trust, once broken, has a way of echoing with every lie it hides. I asked her to sit, and she did, a childlike unease in her posture I had never seen before. The conversation was slow, jagged. She tried to explain a lonely moment, a mistake, a fleeting desire she claimed she couldn't resist. I listened. Every word clawed at me, but I held back tears, rage, everything, trying to understand without letting the pain consume me entirely. It wasn't easy to reconcile the woman I loved with the one I had just discovered. I remembered the mornings she brewed coffee for me, the nights we stayed up talking about dreams and failures. Every memory now carried a sting, a sense of betrayal I couldn't undo. And yet, I couldn't hate her completely. There was guilt in her eyes, a fragile honesty that hadn't been there before. She wasn't a villain. She was human, flawed, and searching, just like me. I spent days walking through my own mind, revisiting each argument, each laugh, each tear we had shared. The house felt heavier, each room a reminder of trust shattered. But slowly, a quiet clarity settled in. I realized I didn't need to destroy her to reclaim my life. I didn't need vengeance to heal. The morning I left the house, I packed lightly, carrying only the essentials and the remnants of my dignity. She watched silently, her eyes moist but her mouth closed. We didn't shout. We didn't slam doors. I simply said, I need to find myself again. You need to do the same. As I walked out, the sun was rising, spilling gold across the horizon. Pain wrapped around me like a second skin, but there was a strange comfort in the clarity that came with it. 12 years of love hadn't been wasted. They had taught me what it meant to trust, to give, to care. And now, they were teaching me the equally necessary lesson of letting go. I don't know if she'll ever fully understand the depth of the hurt, but I do know this. I will rebuild carefully, deliberately, and with a newfound respect for myself. And someday, I hope, I'll love again, but wiser, steadier, and unafraid of seeing the truth, no matter how painful it might be.